Secrets in the Rain. Gripping cheating wife story revealed. Viora fam. Brace for a drama that'll shake your core. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to Viora for stories that blaze with raw emotion. This cheating wife story is a deluge of trust broken and secrets bared. Let's plunge into the storm. I wasn't looking for proof, but her voice, sharp and intimate, carried through the boardroom's glass walls during a morning meeting, whispering his name like a vow. I'm Ethan Caldwell, and this is my cheating wife story. A torrent of devotion washed away by deceit. The worst wasn't hearing her say Wyatt with a warmth she'd withheld from me. It was the way her hand brushed her necklace, a gift I'd given her on our 10th anniversary, now a relic of a love she'd discarded, glinting under Seattle's gray light. Let's step back to the empire we built in Seattle, Washington, where rain streaks the skyline and tech fuels every pulse. I'm the CEO of a cybersecurity firm shaping the digital frontier. My day's a high-wire act of mergers, innovations, and calculated risks. My wife, Olivia Harper, is a corporate trainer, her blonde waves and sapphire eyes weaving charisma that turns workshops into events. We met 12 years ago at a tech conference, her panel on leadership stealing the room, my impulsive offer to share a coffee sparking a romance that felt coded into our DNA. Olivia and I were Ethan and Olivia, the couple who owned Seattle's elite circles. Our waterfront penthouse a sanctuary of glass, steel, and shared dreams. Our daughter, Lila, 10, with her mother's elegance, sketches designs that rival Olivia's flair. Our son, Jasper, 8, with my relentless curiosity, builds drones that crash into our furniture. Mornings were a whirlwind. Olivia sneaking sips of my espresso, me dodging Jasper's latest prototype, Lila narrating her dreams over oatmeal. Evenings were sacred, whether hosting tech moguls on our balcony or curling up with the kids for a sci-fi movie. Olivia's laughter a melody against the city's hum. I'd glance at Reddit cheating stories during late-night coding sessions and scoff. Betrayal wasn't in our algorithm. Our marriage was a fortress, its walls forged in every late-night talk, every stolen kiss. Until the breach began. The shift started 6 months ago, when Olivia joined a consulting firm under a self-proclaimed visionary mentor, all wellness retreats and evolved philosophies. I was elated her brilliance deserved a spotlight. She'd always thrived on challenge, her mind as sharp as the algorithms I designed. But within weeks, cracks surfaced, subtle but jagged, like a system under attack. Olivia traded her tailored suits for flowing dresses, her perfume now a bold jasmine that lingered like an unfamiliar guest. Her evenings vanished into strategy sessions, her phone a locked vault, its screen flashing with notifications she'd shield from me. Building my brand, she'd say, her smile a polished facade, her eyes darting to avoid mine. Our conversations, once a dance of ideas, turned to skirmishes. She'd snap about personal sovereignty, accusing me of stifling her growth when I asked why she missed Lila's art show. I'm not the possessive type, but when your wife's spark fades for you and ignites elsewhere, suspicion seeps in like Seattle's relentless rain. This cheating wife story began with a signal I couldn't ignore, a glitch in the life we'd programmed together. The change deepened, carving a chasm between us. Olivia returned home well past midnight, her breath laced with martini, her laughter cold, her presence a shadow in our penthouse. Lila's questions grew pointed. Why's mom always gone? Her sketches now darker, less vibrant. Jasper clung to me, his drone experiments quieter, his eyes searching for answers I didn't have. I tried to rebuild the connection, chartering a yacht for a family weekend, planning a coding camp for Jasper, reserving a spot for Lila at an art workshop. But Olivia was a locked door, her emotions encrypted. She'd lecture about reclaiming her truth, her words slicing through me. You can't dictate my path, Ethan. I'd read about cheating wives on Reddit, their stories a mirror I refused to face. But the truth was creeping closer, a virus I couldn't quarantine. Was she pulling away from our family, or had I already lost her to someone else's code? I fought to hold our life together, waking early to make Lila's pancakes, helping Jasper debug his drone's flight path, hosting client dinners with a smile that hid my fracturing heart. Olivia's absences grew bolder, her retreats stretching into weekends. Her wardrobe now a gallery of silks and bold prints, each outfit a statement I couldn't decipher. Her phone buzzed incessantly, her fingers quick to silence it. Her excuses, client deadlines, team bonding, delivered with a practiced ease that chilled me. I'd lie awake, the penthouse's glass walls reflecting Seattle's neon glow, wondering if I'd misread her all along. Had our love been a prototype, destined to fail under stress? Or was this a test I could still pass? I'd built a career on solving impossible problems, but this felt like a system collapse I couldn't debug. The first twist hit like a server crash during that boardroom meeting, a routine strategy session with my executive team. Olivia had stopped by to drop off a contract, her presence a rare spark in my day. But as she lingered by the glass partition, speaking softly into her phone, I caught his name, Wyatt Rhodes, a tech influencer who'd once pitched a hostile takeover of my firm, his charisma a veneer over ruthless ambition. Her tone was intimate, her hand grazing the necklace I'd given her, a sapphire pendant from our 10th anniversary, now a prop in her betrayal. The room's hum faded, my team's voices a distant drone, as her words, "Wyatt, tonight, the usual," landed like a blade. This wasn't a work call. It was a wife betrayal confession, spoken yards from where I sat, shaping the future she'd excluded me from. I kept my face neutral, nodding at a VP's report, but inside, I was reeling, the necklace's glint a mockery of our vows. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I needed evidence, needed to protect Lila and Jasper from the fallout. Olivia left the office with a wave, her smile a lie, her Lamborghini Aventador's growl fading into Seattle's traffic. I stayed late, the city's rain a steady drum against the windows, and replayed the moment in my mind. Wyatt Rhodes wasn't just a fling, he was a predator, a man who'd targeted my firm and now my family. This cheating wife story wasn't a random error. It was a calculated hack, and I had to trace its source. I checked Olivia's public calendar, synced to our family app, and found consulting dinners booked with Wyatt, dates aligning with her absences. A quick call to our penthouse's concierge revealed late-night deliveries. Wine? Flowers? Signed by WR. My heart pounded, the evidence mounting, but I needed more to secure my kid's future, not just my pride. I dove deeper, my CEO's instincts now a detective's focus. One evening, after Olivia claimed a team meeting, I found her leather planner on the kitchen island, left behind in her rush. Inside, a folded letter in her handwriting. "Wyatt, you've shown me what freedom feels like. Let's make it real." My breath caught, the penthouse's silence roaring. This wasn't a note for work. It was a promise, dated the night we'd celebrated Lila's art award. When Olivia had kissed me under the chandelier, her lies as smooth as the wine. I photographed it, my hands trembling, the paper's creases a map of her deceit. The second twist came from an unexpected ally. At a downtown bar, I ran into Tessa Grant, a venture capitalist who'd invested in my firm. She'd been at the summit where Olivia and Wyatt networked, her eyes narrowing as they whispered in a corner. "Ethan," she said, sipping her bourbon, "Olivia's been with Wyatt for months. They're planning an Easter announcement, framing it as her evolution." I heard them at a retreat. My blood ran cold. A wife-cheating confession, confirmed by a woman who owed me nothing. "Why tell me?" I asked, my voice low. Tessa's gaze was steady. "Because your kids don't deserve to be pawns in her game." I nodded, my mind a whirlwind, her words a lifeline in the chaos. That night, I sat in my study, the kids asleep, the letter and calendar open on my desk. Olivia's words, "My truth," echoed, a mantra that severed our vows. I remembered a $100,000 angel investment I'd secured, a recent triumph. I sealed the contract in a steel case with a note. "Your freedom comes at a cost." I gave it to our housekeeper, Clara, a woman whose quiet strength had seen me through Olivia's coldness. "Keep this safe," I said. Clara's nod was resolute. "You're their shield, Mr. Ethan." This wasn't a gesture. It was my husband revenge story, a first step to rewrite the narrative. The next morning, I drove my Rolls-Royce Cullinan to the office, Lila's chatter about her art class and Jasper's drone plans a fragile anchor. Olivia breezed in, her tablet glowing, her smile a facade. "Client summit," she said, kissing the kids, barely glancing at me. I watched her Lamborghini tear away, its roar a challenge. She thought she was untouchable, but I had the letter, the logs, Tessa's truth. This cheating wife story was mine to decode, and Easter was my horizon. Her laughter, sultry and unguarded, floated across the Tech Gala's rooftop lounge, her words to him a dagger in the dusk. The worst wasn't hearing Olivia call Wyatt Rhodes her future. It was the pendant around her neck, my anniversary gift, now a talisman of her betrayal, catching Seattle's twilight glow. This cheating wife story had already fractured my world, with Olivia's whispered boardroom call, her letter promising Wyatt freedom, and Tessa Grant's warning of their Easter plot searing my resolve. Wyatt, the tech influencer who'd once tried to sabotage my cybersecurity firm, wasn't just stealing my wife, he was targeting my legacy. Easter was days away, and I needed to decode their scheme before it erased Lila, Jasper, and me. Olivia moved through our waterfront penthouse like a specter, her sapphire eyes dodging mine, her jasmine perfume a sharp reminder of her secrets. I could have confronted her, shown the letter from her planner, played the smart speaker log of her Four Seasons rendezvous. A wife affair exposed, irrefutable. But I held back, my CEO's instincts demanding a sharper strategy. I wanted her to unravel in her own web, to face the chaos she'd spun. So I watched, my pulse a relentless surge, my mind a war room mapping every move. I started with Wyatt, dissecting the man who'd cracked my life's code. His online presence was a curated assault, sleek suits, TED-style talks, always a knowing grin. A post from the Four Seasons, dated the night of Olivia's workshop, showed them at a candlelit table, her smile a flame I'd lost. The caption, "Rewriting the rules." My chest tightened. This wasn't an emotional cheating story. It was a deliberate attack, with Olivia as Wyatt's pawn. I dug into their history, finding a panel they'd co-hosted years ago, Wyatt's arm around her, my absence a shadow in the frame. Had this infidelity story time been scripted before our penthouse nights? I contacted a former colleague, Marcus Lee, who'd worked with Wyatt. Over coffee, Marcus's voice was low. "Wyatt's been gunning for you since you blocked his takeover. He's using Olivia to hit your firm's valuation." My blood ran cold. This cheating wife story wasn't just personal, it was corporate warfare. The first twist struck like a system overload. I shadowed Olivia to a waterfront club, my Rolls-Royce Cullinan a ghost in Seattle's misty streets. She met Wyatt, their bodies close under lantern light, her laughter a melody I'd forgotten. I recorded their conversation from a nearby booth, my phone capturing her words. "Ethan's too rigid. Easter's when I break free." Wyatt's tone was smug. "And your firm's contract will tank his stock." My heart stopped. This wasn't a fling. It was a calculated move to sabotage my cybersecurity firm, with Olivia's PR deal as the weapon. I saved the audio, my whiskey untouched, the club's hum a distant roar. The pendant's glint haunted me, a symbol of my trust repurposed for their game. I kept our family's rhythm, leading board meetings by day, debugging Jasper's drones, framing Lila's sketches for her school exhibit. Their questions, "Why's mom so different?" cut deeper than Olivia's lies. Lila's latest drawing, "A family under a fractured sky," mirrored my heart. Jasper's drones crashed less, his focus waning, his trust in me a lifeline I clung to. I vowed to shield them from this toxic relationship story, to be their anchor. Olivia grew reckless, her retreats extending, her phone buzzing with texts she'd answer in hushed tones, her eyes challenging me to strike. I didn't. I was collecting the letter, the audio, dinner receipts, building a fortress for Lila and Jasper, not just my ego. The second twist came from an unlikely source. At a tech mixer, I met Elise Morrow, Olivia's mentor at the consulting firm, a woman whose TED Talks on radical authenticity had millions of views. Her smile was polished, but her eyes were cold as she mentioned Olivia's transformation. Later, I overheard her on a call outside the venue, her voice sharp, Olivia's our star. She'll push the open lifestyle narrative, and Wyatt's deal will seal it. My pulse spiked. Elise wasn't just a mentor. She was orchestrating Olivia's shift, using her to promote a brand that masked corporate greed. This cheating wife story wasn't just Wyatt's vendetta. It was Elise's chess game, with my family as collateral. I recorded the call, my hands steady, Elise's words a new key to the puzzle. I deepened my investigation, my cybersecurity expertise now a weapon. I accessed Olivia's work email through a shared cloud account, guilt a fleeting shadow. Her correspondence with Wyatt was a gallery of betrayal, flirty promises, plans for Easter, and a draft press release tying her firm's progressive campaign to my company's downfall. One email gutted me. Ethan's too traditional. Wyatt, you're my truth. My vision blurred. The penthouse's rain-streaked windows a mirror to my pain. This true cheating story wasn't a lapse. It was a campaign with my kid's future in the crosshairs. I archived everything, my resolve hardening, the city's pulse sinking with mine. The third twist landed like a data breach. Clara knocked, holding the steel case with the $100,000 investment contract. Ms. Olivia wouldn't take it, she said, her voice soft. Said it's not her place. I froze, stunned. Olivia had rejected my calculated move, my silent strike. Was it pride? Fear? Or did she sense my trap? Clara's eyes were warm. You're stronger than her, Mr. Ethan. For Lila and Jasper. I took the case, my throat tight, a clarity cutting through the fog. The contract was mine, but her refusal was a signal. Did she know I was closing in? That evening, I stood at the Four Seasons bar, where Olivia's receipt was dated, needing to feel the space where she'd chosen Wyatt. The city glittered below, the air heavy with her jasmine ghost. I ordered a bourbon, its burn grounding me, and wrote in my journal. Every lie, every slight, every moment I'd missed. Her boardroom whisper, her coldness, her plot with Elise. This wasn't just a husband revenge story. It was a fight for my family's truth. I trusted her too fiercely to see her clearly, and now I was paying the price. When I got home, Olivia was packing, her Rimowa suitcase open, her movements sharp. Leadership summit, she said, not looking up, her voice a blade. I watched the woman I'd built a life with, now a stranger in our penthouse. How long? I asked, my tone neutral. 5 days, she replied, her eyes flickering with defiance. The lie hung heavy, the audio in my pocket a silent vow. Safe travels, I said, turning away, my heart a crucible. She thought she was free, but I held the keys. That night, my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Ethan, it's Riley Cole, Wyatt's ex-partner. We need to talk. My breath caught. His ex-partner? A new variable in this cheating wife story, and the stakes were soaring. I replied, setting a meeting at a waterfront cafe. Easter was coming, and the code was shifting. I caught her signing a contract with him at the retreat's morning session, her pen gliding with a promise that cut deeper than her lies. The worst wasn't the deal tying Olivia to Wyatt Rhodes. It was the smile she gave him, a spark of trust I'd lost, framed by the retreat's cedar walls and Seattle's misty dawn. This cheating wife story had already torn me apart, with Olivia's boardroom whispers, her gala laughter, and the audio exposing their Easter plot fueling my fight. Riley Cole's text, Ethan, it's Riley, Wyatt's ex-partner. We need to talk, was a new spark in the inferno, hinting at a truth I hadn't fully grasped. Wyatt's sabotage, Elise Morrow's manipulation, and Olivia's betrayal were a storm threatening Lila, Jasper, and my cybersecurity firm. Easter was tomorrow, and I had to strike before their plan erased my family. I met Riley at a waterfront cafe. The Puget Sounds churn a faint echo of the chaos within. She was sharp, cropped hair, gray eyes, her voice steady but laced with regret. Ethan, she said, sliding a folder across the table. Wyatt's playing Olivia. These are his emails to investors, promising to tank your firm using her PR deal. Her fingers twitched, betraying her calm. I opened the folder, my pulse hammering. Messages detailed Wyatt's scheme. Leverage Olivia's open lifestyle campaign to destabilize my stock. Then buy my firm cheap. A wife affair exposed. Not just a betrayal but a corporate heist. Why help me? I asked, my voice low. Riley's gaze hardened. Because Wyatt ruined me too. He's not your rival, he's a parasite. I nodded. Our shared wounds a silent pact. Her evidence a weapon I'd wield with precision. The first twist hit like a data surge. I called Olivia. My voice a calm mask over the fire inside. Easter retreat dinner, our place, 7 p.m. Just us, the kids, and a few guests. She hesitated, her tone edged. Why now, Ethan? Kept it warm. For Lila and Jasper. Let's reconnect. She agreed, her voice tight, and I hung up, my hands steady. But then I dove deeper into Riley's folder, finding a transcript of Elisa's retreat speech, recorded by an attendee. Elisa's words were venom. Olivia's our beacon. Her freedom narrative will shift markets, and Wyatt's takeover will follow. My blood froze. This cheating wife story wasn't just Wyatt's vendetta. It was Elisa's empire, with Olivia as the unwitting queen. The dinner wasn't a truce. It was my endgame, and I was ready to rewrite the script. I spent the night orchestrating the reveal. Our penthouse's dining room, sleek with glass and Lila's framed sketches, became my stage. I loaded Riley's audio onto a discreet speaker, cued the emails on my tablet, and adjusted the lighting to cast Olivia's lies in stark relief. Clara helped, her steady hands setting plates, her eyes fierce. For your kids, she said. I nodded, the steel case with the $100,000 investment contract in my study. Its roll clear, I'd offer it to Olivia not as a gift but as a mirror to her choices. Easter morning dawned gray, Seattle's rain a steady drum, the sound glittering with a deceptive calm. Lila and Jasper hunted eggs, their laughter a fragile shield against the storm. Guests arrived, Olivia, a few colleagues, Tessa, who gave me a knowing nod. Olivia's smile was polished, but her eyes darted, sensing a trap. I served dinner, my Rolls-Royce Cullinan parked outside, a reminder of the empire I'd built. This was my code, and I was ready to execute. As we sat, I raised a glass. To choices, I said, my voice a quiet blade. And their consequences. The room stilled, Olivia's fork pausing. I pressed play. Elisa's voice rang out. Olivia's freedom narrative will shift markets. Then Wyatt. Easter's our moment. Ethan's done. Gasps erupted. Olivia's face drained, her colleagues shifting uncomfortably. I swiped to the tablet, emails flashing, Wyatt's plan to tank my firm. This is my cheating wife story, I said, my voice unwavering. A plot to destroy our family and my work, dressed as your truth. Chaos exploded. Olivia stood, her voice shrill. You're twisting this, Ethan. A colleague fled, muttering excuses. Tessa leaned forward, her voice cutting. You twisted yourself, Olivia. I met Olivia's eyes. You chose Wyatt. Now face the fallout. The second twist was a tidal wave. Olivia grabbed her bag, sobbing. You'll never understand my freedom. She stormed out, her Lamborghini Aventador roaring away, leaving Lila and Jasper confused, clinging to me. I knelt, whispering, we're enough. But the audio looped, a relentless refrain of her betrayal. Clara handed me the steel case, but I didn't chase Olivia. It wasn't hers to claim. Tessa stayed, her hand on my shoulder. You protected them, she said. I nodded, the weight of the moment crushing. My kids, safe but wounded. That evening, I took Lila and Jasper to a pier arcade. Their giggles a bomb, though their questions, where's Mom? Pierced deep. I kept it light, but inside, I was fraying. Olivia had vanished, her office cleared. No note. Her colleagues' whispers. Legal threats, PR spins loomed, but Tessa's support and Clara's warmth grounded me. Riley texted, her tone resolute. Wyatt's investors are pulling out. You've won. I wanted to believe it, but the cost. My kids' trust, my shattered vows, was a heavy toll. The third twist came days later. Tessa sent a video, her message apologetic. I held this back. Ethan. It was Olivia, Post-Easter, confronting Wyatt at a retreat, her voice broken. You promised we'd reshape everything. Wyatt's laugh was ice. You were a tool, Olivia. Elise got her cut, and I got my shot. My heart twisted. Olivia hadn't just betrayed me. She'd been betrayed, a pawn in Wyatt's and Elise's game. I didn't forgive her, but the truth reframed the narrative. This true cheating story wasn't heroes and villains. It was a clash of broken systems. I met Tessa at a tech summit, Seattle's skyline gleaming, her eyes warm as she spoke of Lila and Jasper. They're resilient like you, she said. I smiled, grateful for her truth. The investment contract stayed in my study, unspent. I didn't need it to rebuild. I launched a mentorship program for young coders, inspired by Jasper's drones and Lila's art, giving back to the city that shaped me. Truth isn't found in breaking others. It's built in lifting them up. At the summit's close, I stood on a balcony, Seattle's lights flickering, and opened an email from Olivia. A single line. I'm sorry. I deleted it. The rain cool on my face. My kids' laughter from the gala below my anchor. Wyatt was fading, Elise exposed, and my family was my code. This cheating wife story had tested me, but it had also forged me. Viora fam, what's your verdict? Did Ethan do right by exposing Olivia? Or should he have let her go quietly? Would you delete that email or reply? Comment below, hit that like button if this moved you, and subscribe to Viora for more tales that spark your heart.